Welcome to a new episode of the Industrial Kingdom podcast. Today we are filming a remote session with our guest from Spain, Mr. Alejandro Gallego Alcaide. Welcome, Alejandro. So the Industrial Kingdom podcast is our YouTube monthly podcast dealing with everything regarding the manufacturing and agriculture industries around the MENAT region. I am Valerie Zakka, your host, and I am the founder of the Industrial Kingdom Consulting Services, offering a consultancy and advisory to these industries around the MENAT. So today we are, like I said, with Alejandro, who is the International Business Director at the AMEC. Welcome, Alejandro. And I had the pleasure of meeting Alejandro during his visit to Lebanon back in October, a couple months ago, during the Clusters for Circularity event organized by Beritech. And I had the second also opportunity to deal with Alejandro on the Manufacturing and Industry Roundtable, where he was a very, impactful participant. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to ask you to tell us a bit about yourself and about the AMEC and your activity there.
Thank you, Valerie. Hello to everyone. Hello to all the Industrial Kingdom in Lebanon and all the MENA region. First, thank you for having me. I am very happy to be participating in such a great initiative. Thank you also to you and your team for being flexible and hosting this episode online. I wish I could be, of course, I wish I could be there in Lebanon. I mean, your incredible food. It was my first visit 2 months ago in Lebanon, and I wish I can go then more often. I still remember some of the labne, kenefe. I always tell everyone about the food that you have in Lebanon. So,
do I have a new ambassador?
Okay. Well, if you give me food, I will be glad to be to do as many events as being the ambassador I need to be, of course. And at the same time, it was not just the food who surprised me, also the industrial ecosystem that I could experience. I visited a couple of companies in Lebanon, in the area of Jbeil, in the north part of Lebanon, and I was impressed by the technology I saw, by the processes. We visited also a company that was very diversified, was operating in many different sectors. So it was great. So very happy to be also participating in Industrial Kingdom. And you might be asking yourselves, all the audience, what is AMEC and what do they do in AMEC? So let me explain you. So as you said, I manage all the international department at AMEC. Now we are a big team here in Spain who represents all the industrial companies that have international activity. We represent more than 400 companies in all the Spanish territory, okay? As you might know, also in Spain, we have different industrial hubs that are located in the Catalonia region, and also in the north part of Spain and in the south part of Spain, and some other clusters divided by sectors in all the Spanish territory. So in AMEC, what we do, we represent the industries that are internationalized at many different levels, okay? Highly internationalized, intermediate levels of internationalization, and also the ones that are also starting their processes to operate in the international markets. And at the same time, we do some lobby advocacy to help them and to defend their interest and to communicate their interest to the different administrations at the regional level, at the national level, and also at a more European level. And something that AMEC is known for, the DNA of AMEC, I might say, all not just in Spain, also in the different industrial markets, is our international activity. We organize more than 40 international promotion activities that goes from organizing trade fairs to trade missions, inviting and welcoming delegations from all over the world. And our members, they are highly dynamized. They come to our events here in Spain. They follow us in the different trade shows that we organize. We are going to talk about some regions specifically, but excuse me, we are also organizing activities in Europe, North America, South America, all across the globe. There are also, of course, in Asia, Southeast Asia, that are emerging industrial markets.
So your members are mostly technology companies in the industry, let's say in the equipment industry and so on, right?
Correct. So what we do is we represent the industrial manufacturers, and this goes from mainly technology manufacturers. We mean by that machinery manufacturers, but at the same time, we represent the perimeter of the industrial manufacturing activity. So this is where we find chemical products manufacturers. We find also software developers. Excuse me?
Packaging material, maybe?
Packaging material, correct. And mainly focused on all the solutions that the producer needs to manufacture different industrial products. They go from textiles to packaging materials, as you were saying, food, electrical material. We have members that develop solutions for smart cities, electric mobility. So, we represent the whole industry in Spain.
That was indeed very interesting for us to be in contact and learn about your activities. And there is something about the AMEC that I like is your kind of your definition of integrating Spanish industries that share clear international, innovative, and collaborative activities. So basically, I like what you represent, and I think this is what is needed right now, right? Given the international, the really highly competitive atmosphere, let's call it internationally. So, based on your work with the AMEC, how would you say Spanish companies are staying competitive in facing that kind of international uncertainty and global competitiveness? And what is the AMEC's role in supporting them?
Mm-hmm. So I will say, when you need to develop a marketing strategy, you need to find keywords where you can position your brand. So answering your question, the keyword will be innovation. So if companies, they want to remain competitive, they need to innovate. They need to find new products that they can place in the markets. They need to innovate in the manufacturing processes that they have, and they can do it through many different ways. But in AMEC, we say that one of the best ways to innovate is through collaboration. Also, different companies that can share resources, can share knowledge, can share also resources in terms of teams that they can develop products together. And in AMEC, what we try to do is, so first of all, we identify assets and needs of the companies. And so we have a wide CRM full of information where we identify what every company is specialized in. And so, as I was explaining to you, we have machinery manufacturers, but on the other side, we have chemical products manufacturers or software developers that if they come together and AMEC places in a scenario, they can develop a specific solution for a new market that, for example, in Europe, we have a defense industry that is growing now in terms of investment. So maybe some companies, they can come together, identify the resources that they can put in place and develop solutions, packaging material, new textiles for the defense industry, for example, in markets like Germany or Spain or UK, for example. So something that we do in AMEC to answer the needs of innovation of our members is putting companies together to collaborate, in a much more structured way that I just explained now. We also do some lobby advocacy to the administration. We are calling for a 1% GDP public investment fund to help companies to innovate and give them some support in their innovation processes.
Yeah.
This means
tell us more about this particular project.
Yes, of course. At the end, companies, what they need to invest from their own margins, and they need to collaborate with a technological center or universities. At least this is the reality that I know in Spain and in Europe. And sometimes they will come to you and say, Alejandro, this last year, with all the international uncertainty that we are having, we might prefer to not invest or not to risk on new investments and keep our investments maybe in the commercial area because we need to open new markets. But this is why when we go to the Spanish administration in this case, we are calling them for helping to not forget about these innovation investments that need to happen if companies, they want to keep being competitive. And when I mean competitive, I mean that when you are going to a trade show, that I know, Valerie, that you visit many different trade shows around the world, you need to bring to your stand, to your booth, new products, new technologies.
You cannot just be there anymore. Even if you have a really developed technology, you have to showcase it properly, and you have to. And every show, every year, you have to kind of, as much as possible, come in with something new or upgraded, or maybe revamped. No. Yeah,
this is also helping your brand as an exhibitor. It's going to help your brand. You are going to probably attract new customers, and the existing customers that you have, they might come also to ask you, what is this that you are presenting? And maybe I can open a new line of products on my dairy factory or my agro-food factory or farm that I have. Maybe I can start adding some new additives to my food. So, plenty of new things that can happen if companies, they really bet on innovation.
Yeah. So you are supporting them in putting them together to form new ways of collaboration, and thus helping them to innovate, and supporting them with the lobbying, with the government, and supporting them also on internationalization and reaching new markets. That's really great. Yeah, I was in the at the Gulfood Manufacturing show in Dubai last month. And I saw the Spanish pavilion. It was wonderful. And I've actually met specifically 2 companies with whom I look forward to working. I mean, it was very interesting. They brought something special, something new, to me, as I'm always looking for new technology, new equipment, and new solutions, let's say. I didn't know, though, it was organized by the AMEC. So I would have especially spent some more time on that topic. So already what you're doing is amazing, and I think every country should have that, especially that you are focused. It's kind of not in general for all companies. You are focused on the industry, which is much needed. I think in let's say in Europe right now. As I deal with the industrial machinery, I am very much involved in the day-to-day of that business. And I know that we love to work with European manufacturers, but many times it's recently, it has some challenges. Let's say we can start saying for, let's say, the pricing, or maybe it's not about the price only. Originally, Europe was the main source for anyone looking to buy equipment, right? Where else would you go? But right now, there's a lot of emerging markets with, good technology. So how do you see the future, or the challenges and the opportunities for the European industry from your perspective?
You see also, Valerie, that you are in the industrial machinery business, which I understand that you decided to go the rough way there, not to take the easy way of being in the D2C or the marketing side of the things. You like the technology and the processes, but I am happy to see that we have some colleagues also in the mini region that they decide to be on the, I say, interesting side of the factory.
It is really, it's so I know this diverges a bit, but working with the equipment, with industries, it's never boring, that's for sure. You're never bored. There's always something new, and you cannot stop learning because it's constantly evolving, and each project or each client or each supplier requires you to push yourself to learn something new or to bring, to bring new people together. So it's one of the interesting parts of the business because it's not purely technology. I mean, I'm not an engineer. Mostly I engineer, let's say, cooperations because I find the right supplier for the right client and someone who's going to be working with us in the same mindset. Because as you know, like you choose the mindset of your members, it's surely not everyone is going to be in the same mindset, but as much as possible, it can ensure, it can increase the chances of a smoother and more successful cooperation, no?
Absolutely. If it was not hard, it wouldn't be funny. So we also say it like this in AMEC. But you were asking me about the challenges of the European industry and also some, let's say, opportunities that we can see also. I was recently saying that the JP Morgan CEO was saying that Europe has a big problem. So now I see a lot of pessimism towards Europe as a group, as an idea, as a community. But I believe that Europe has the foundations of what the industrial machinery industry is. So when you are talking about in the past, if you wanted to buy machinery, you had to relay you to a European industrial manufacturer. At the end, this is what we see, the reality that we see, for example, in Spain. Here in AMEC, we visit very often our members. And when I visit them, I see the pictures of the grandparents, the parents, when they were running the companies. And this doesn't mean that the industry has a lot of experience. This also means that the industry or this manufacturer has gone through a lot of different projects, so has resolved a lot of different problems around the world. So
around the world.
Well, exactly. So when you have this resilience, the challenges that we can find now that some of them have gone through high prices of energy, for example, in Europe, that has damaged the competitiveness of some of our companies. This also makes me confident that companies are going to find, with our support, of course, and with public support, that companies are going to stay resilient and also remain competitive. But there are some lines that we must follow. Having said that, one of the challenges, let's say, is the loss of competitiveness in terms of price. As you were saying before, when I want to buy a machinery, price is not the only thing that I look at, but it's an important aspect.
And the delivery time as well. The delivery time. I think
for example,
the workforce, let's say, with probably...
Exactly. And the setup of the machinery and the training that this company is going to give to your team for how to use the machinery, the after-sales service that is going to be giving to your company once you buy this machine. But let's say that we have more competition coming in that is putting our industrial European companies in a challenge. We also find new emerging big industrial groups from China, from India, from Turkey, that are also putting machinery in place that is competing with European machinery. But still, Europe has the foundations to remain competitive and also thrive in this ecosystem. Why? For example, I'm going to give you a couple of examples. Europe has a great ecosystem of innovation in terms of technological centers and universities collaborating with private companies. Okay. This system makes innovation, and as we were talking before, new product development easier. smooth. Huh? Another aspect that I can mention is that companies, for example, in Spain, they are organically resilient. So they finance their operations, they grow in a very organic way with their own resources. So this means that companies that have been operating for the last 80 or 70 years in the textile markets, in the food sector, in the packaging sector, they will find the ways to continue financing their operations through hard times, and when also better times come, then they will be there in the market. And third, what is happening? For example, now we have an American administration that will have to be paying a lot of attention to Twitter to see what is going to be published in a tweet regarding our tariffs or our new for example, regulations that are being to be put in place for European products to be exported to the United States, for example. But still, Europe remains one of the largest domestic markets in the world. Remember that Europe, we can operate around 430 million people that are living in different countries and have a liberty of movement and also of selling their products around the different countries. So inside this large domestic market, when a market is suffering from a recession or the economy is not going the best way it could be, you can find also another markets that are maybe in a better situation. For example, now Spain is growing at a very good pace in terms of its GDP, and some other markets in Europe are not growing as much. So Spain in this case can support some European industrial manufacturers in terms of selling, in terms of operations. So this dynamism inside the European market also will help companies to remain competitive and continue operating for when the international markets will be more open or in a better situation in this case.
And also, are you working on, for example, maybe hosting manufacturing facilities for other European companies? For example, if some countries are suffering from, let's say, like workforce or labor force problems, are you looking into that, or that's not part of?
That's part of our activity, but I believe that in all Europe we have the same challenge in terms of workforce. Now here in Spain, when we go to visit companies, when we do events at our offices with companies, one of the challenges, one of the pains of the industry is this, that they don't find qualified labor to work in their companies. So in this specific aspect, what we are trying to do is to make, first of all, industry in Spain more attractive. So children that they are studying now and they are deciding what is going to be their future, they have to know, for example, that in Spain, the average medium salary in industry is one of the highest in Spain. So they need to be able to understand that the industry is attractive. So then we can, let's say, have in the near future more workforce that can help our companies to operate, but at the same time, we must collaborate with the different European countries that have the same pain, the same challenge, on, for example, making it easier to hire people from different countries outside of the European market, that they are offering high levels of qualification, and they are keen to work also in the European countries.
Yeah, you touched. That's a very important point, is creating awareness among the young adults, or like, let's say, university people, students, that this industry really is very, first of all, it's very solid. It's not like a flimsy, with ups and downs. It's constant. And yes, it's not very glamorous, but it has really big rewards and huge outlets and potential. So yeah, also I would like to develop that more also in my work. I start with my kids, but right.
Here, when I listen to someone saying that the industry is a very polluting, very contaminating industry, I always think this person never visited an industrial factory in the recent future.
Yeah, exactly.
You haven't seen a factory in Hawaii, or you have seen a lot of media or a lot of news that they are just focusing on some aspects of the industry. But I believe it's our task to make industry attractive, to explain the benefits of being related to industrial projects that at the same time we have, as you were saying, resilient industries. For example, in Spain, the food industry, packaging industry, textile industry have been here for a very long time. But also we have new emerging industries when we are talking about semiconductors, the defense industry, as I was telling you. We have also the challenge that is being tackled now, I believe, in Spain about the electric vehicle. For example, the network of electric vehicle batteries, for example, for charging the electric vehicle is being put in place in Spain. There are a lot of investments. So I believe that the industry in Spain is resilient, has been there for a long time, but also has new emerging industries that can make it attractive, no?
I'm very glad to hear that. And I don't know if you know that resilient is the second word for Lebanese. So resilience is in our DNA. We have been trying to shed this identity because we want to be not resilient, we want to be prosperous. But Lebanese people, we can relate to the resilience, and I know that the Spanish culture in general and the industry as well is very solid and is producing consistently high quality products, consumer products, as well as equipment. I am also very involved with Spain, so I know I'm constantly in the activities at the embassy here, and my husband is also Spanish. So, so we are quite involved in the Spanish market. But I would like to work more with the Spanish companies, and this is why I was very interested in your work and in what the AMEC is doing. Like I told you about some of the challenges I had found previously. So the way we met is you were in Lebanon. And after we met, I've seen you on LinkedIn in many other countries around the MENA region. So I am also interested, and I'm sure some of our viewers would like to know, how are you involved? What is your involvement and in the MENA? And also, what is your opinion or outlook on industry in our region? And what countries are you active in?
So, as I was telling you before, in AMEC, we support our companies in their internationalization processes. And we might have companies that come to us and say, Alejandro, I'm looking for opening markets in the MENA region. Tell me which ones I should focus my strategy on, for example. So from this, what we do is we detect companies with opportunities and companies that markets that they already have, like an industrial market share that can be interesting for our members, no? MENA region, when we are talking about industrialization, is an important region. For this year, 2025, it is expected the industrial investments to grow at 2.8% rate. And for next year, it is expected at 3.3% in 2026, which this means that we should, as AMEC, focus, and we are doing so, in MENA region. Yes. Which countries do we see that offer more opportunities to our members, to Spanish industrial companies? For example, are you listening to me? Yes. I thought maybe my.
Oh no, I'm fixing the timer here. Okay.
Okay. So what we do is we have detected company markets that they offer opportunities. I'm going to mention some of them. You visited Gulfood Manufacturing. So United Emirates Arab Emirates is a very interesting market that is diversifying their industry. And so they are moving from the oil and gas industry to a manufacturing industry, you were to Gulfood on the food sector, but also we are participating as AMEC. We organize the Spanish Pavilion also in Middle East Energy, which is a very successful show, for example. And there are other shows, but other industries like the packaging industry, semiconductors industry that are also developing in the country. And this is where we also see that Emirates is not just an opportunity market for their domestic industry, but also for the trading hub that represents for other markets, like markets like India, Pakistan, Iran, for example. They have a lot of activity in Dubai or Abu Dhabi. As I know also, there are a lot of Lebanese businessmen doing business in Emirates. Another market, for example, that we see that is diversifying and also growing in each industry is Saudi Arabia. For example,
I would welcome Saudi. Exactly.
Okay, Saudi Arabia, I believe, not just for the big projects that they are advertising to the whole world, this NEOM project or the Line project or other projects, but we also see that their manufacturing sector is growing. In the next February, in 2026, we are going to be organizing the Spanish participation at the World Advanced Manufacturing Show, which is
I will be there.
show. Okay, so I hope we can see each other and we can drink something. Exactly, the WAM show. But there are also some other shows like a Saudi food show. There is the textile show, AG Stitch show for the textile sector. So as Emirates, Saudi Arabia, we are detecting that it's diversifying its industrial sectors, and this means an opportunity for positioning Spanish industrial companies there and develop new projects. And also a market that I would highlight is Egypt. For example, in Egypt, we see a lot of foreign investment from Turkey. For example, many Syrian businessmen, they have built different factories. We see hubs, industrial hubs like 10th of Ramadan, for example, in the north part, in the Alexandria side. Many industrial hubs are growing. And for
10th of October.
10th of October and 6th of Ramadan. Probably I mixed down.
Yeah, because I don't know that. I'm trying to see if I know.
Maybe I mixed the names.
Probably merge them.
I've been there a couple of times because we have a project there. I don't remember if it's 6th of Ramadan and then 10th of October or
yeah, totally. These are huge. They're really interesting. Yeah.
They are big industrial areas where, for example, for the textile sector, there are a lot of investments going on, but we detect also the electrical material sector is growing. We are going to be in a trade mission on February in the country. We are going to be visiting in local domestic industrial manufacturers, and we also have a project there in Egypt where we see we have a representative that is helping when he's visiting the different textile manufacturers, is promoting the different textile machinery manufacturers in Spain.
So that's like focused on textile.
For example, it is a textile project that we have over there, but we also are opening opportunities there in the energy sector, renewable energy solutions also for the Egyptian market. But I was giving you the example of the textile sector that we see is growing. And this is what I link it to also in the MENA region. We see not just opportunities, but also competition.
Yes.
Right. We have, when we talk about mechanical engineering, when we talk about technology, we see a big penetration of Chinese technology, for example, in Egypt. But at the same time also, when we talk about MENA region, we have Turkey as a technology manufacturing country that is also well implemented in Dubai, in Egypt. I believe they are going to do also their work in Saudi Arabia. So this is where companies, they have to draw a good strategy before they want to start working in markets like Egypt or Emirates or Saudi Arabia.
Yes, these are very demanding markets. They are demanding. You cannot go half-half. You have to be right. Okay, Alejandro, and as unfortunately we come towards the end of our session, what would be some of your upcoming activities or initiatives that you have for next year that our viewers can benefit from or you would like them to follow?
So I would say that regarding that your audience is mainly in the MENA region, as I was mentioning before, I would like not to miss the opportunity, like happened to you going to Gulfood Manufacturing, to not meet you in the next Gulfood Manufacturing of next year. But as I mentioned, we are going to be with the Spanish Pavilion at Middle East Energy, WAM Saudi. We are going to be in Egypt Energy, also in Egypt. We are going to have a great mission also for visiting Cairo and Alexandria in Egypt. So in these different events that we are going to have, I would also like to invite any one of your audience to see if they want to get to know some of the Spanish industrial manufacturers. And also for next year, there are important events going on, mainly Europe. For example, we have Interpack, which is, I would say, the most important event of the packaging industry. So we are going to have a big Spanish representation at the show. And of course, if anyone is going to be visiting, so we will be there with a lot of people of AMEC. So we will be able to have back.
Okay, so then it's going to be easier to take this tea, or maybe there we can go for eating some Bratwurst or some local food also in Germany. So if we find a Lebanese restaurant, we can go to the Lebanese restaurant also.
You have to come here to go to a Lebanese restaurant.
Okay. If I can find an excuse,
We say inshallah.
Inshallah, exactly. So, and also we have regarding then I segmented to the Spanish ecosystem for next year. We have two important industrial shows, mainly we call it Alimentaria Food Tech, which is a show that is focused on we have the Alimentaria, that is the product show, like the Gulfood that there is on February, and after we have in Spain the Food Tech show for the food sector, which is taking place in October of 2026. And also we have the plastic trade show that is going to be also in Barcelona next year. I believe it's going to be May or June. We're going to manage the different delegations coming in to visit the show. So if anyone is interested to visit it, AMEC is at your disposal.
I'm gonna list all these activities in the description of this YouTube. And then as the year progresses, we will be, we are very active on social media and on YouTube in the Industrial Kingdom. So we will be, reminding people about these activities. And I will be at many of them. So I'll make sure to do that, to visit you there. So thank you so much, Alejandro, for your time and for this really very enriching session. I'm sure our viewers enjoyed it. If you have any questions, ideas or thoughts, please leave us a note in the comment section. You can always email us as well. And remember to follow us on social media, the Industrial Kingdom, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. And of course, wait for the next episode of the Industrial Kingdom podcast. So thank you so much and see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye.